Recording in progress. Okay, so generally speaking, what we're doing, especially for the first couple sessions, is we're working on the basic foundation and we're kind of building ourselves from the ground up. So today we're going to focus on things that are kind of stretchy and feel good. And that's, you know, feel good in sometimes a painful kind of way, but you're going to leave this and you're going to feel like more mobile than you did at the end. So for you guys who are just joining, if you have like a loop band, that's a good thing to have for today. If not, like everything that we do today, you can do without any equipment at all. But in general, if you're going to come every week, things to have are like really light weights. We won't get too heavy, especially in this first 6 or 7 week program, because this is all foundational, but loop bands, light weights, like the big stability ball thing that you can see in my background right there, all good things to have. Okay. So we're going to get started in a nice morning, relaxing way, and we're going to all do child's pose. And I'm going to talk through some of the things I want you guys to pay attention to in child's pose. So if you know yoga, get right into it. If not, you're going to have your knees wide and your feet together, and then you're going to sink down into it. And what I want you guys to do from here is I want you to take really deep breaths into your belly. So you're going to inhale into your belly, exhale all the way out. And then what I want you to notice is when we're breathing into our bellies, like the lower part of our abdomen, I also want you to feel it extending in your lower back. So your tailbone should feel like it's reaching down closer to your feet, like you're without moving, just by using your breath, you're extending your lower back. Your tailbone is reaching closer to your feet and you're finding length along your spine. That's what we're looking for here. So really deep, big, slow breaths. We're starting from the ground up because your diaphragm, which is what we're breathing into now, is a core stabilizer. And we need this thing to work in order to be good at anything else that we do, especially in triathlon. So we're going to start just by breathing into it, trying to find space in your lower back. Take 2 more big, full, deep breaths. And if you guys are ever not feeling something that I'm saying, just let me know, because I'm sure somebody else is also not feeling it. I like to make a lot of assumptions about everything. Okay. And then once you got your 2 full deep breaths, we're going to come just up onto your hands and knees. And we're going to stick with the breath for the second exercise and do some bird dogs. So let's go all left arm and right leg first. So what you're going to do is extend out your left arm and right leg on the inhale, and you're going to exhale, round your back and bring them all together. So make sure you get all of your air out. We're going to just do 6 each side and go really nice and slow. So inhale, exhale all of your air out, curve your back. Inhale, make sure you're breathing into your diaphragm. This is one of the ones where when you're extending your leg out, and do 6 on your own time. Don't worry about what I'm doing. You might start to arch your lower back, especially on that leg that's extended. So that's where we need your diaphragm to fill up your lower back and keep it from arching. So 6 on that side, keep your breath going. And then once you're done 6, just switch right over to your right arm and left leg. These are really nice, slow movements. And the slower you go too, you might feel like you're stabilizing, especially on that other leg. We're getting all kinds of stuff to start activating and warming up. And then the next exercise, we're going to still stay in this one spot. And these are called snow devils, which sounds fun, but it's not actually that hard until you add weights, which will be on the next set. So you're just going to lay on your belly. And then still the diaphragm thing. So we have the theme clearly going here. So you're going to keep your feet on the ground, lift your lower or your upper body up, hands here, reach out, inhale, exhale, squeeze your elbows down in it. Reach out. We're gonna do 12 of these. They're not super slow, but still incorporate your breath. And the goal is to keep your hands up as high as you can. So we're pushing the range of motion here. As you can tell, we're working on mobility for your shoulders that pretty directly correlates to swimming. So try to feel all those muscles in your rotator cuff in the back and your scapula. They'll all be working through a range of motion up there. Got 12 reps. And if your shoulders are feeling tired, you're gonna just think about how much fun it's gonna be to add weight on the second set. Okay. All right, and then our last exercise in this set, this is still finishing up, so take your time. We're gonna do standing. And we're gonna do a single leg deadlift with a stretch. So deadlift is a strong word because we're not lifting anything, but that's the motion idea. So we're gonna alternate legs on this exercise. So you're gonna have one foot down and your arms are gonna extend every time you bend over. So left leg, your right leg is gonna shoot back and your arms are gonna come out straight and you're gonna hold it for a second, come back down, switch legs. So 6 each side, go slow because I want you to actually balance at the end of each one. One thing I want you to focus on, I'm barefooted right now. If you guys wanna, if you have the ability, if you're not like in somewhere weird, take your shoes off because I want you to feel all of the grippy, stabilizing muscles that we need to use in our feet. This goes a long way in triathlon. It makes us work all the way up our kinetic chains that go to our legs and make everything function better. So barefoot if you can. And then one other thing to pay attention to is a lot of times what's going to happen is your hip is going to try to open up this way, like to the side. So as much as you can keep your hips square, meaning facing the ground, even if that means your back leg doesn't go up as high, that's getting the motion that we want and the hip stabilization that we want. So think about that. Also notice if you're holding your breath, that's something that your body will try to do. 6 each side. Hamstrings should start to feel like they're getting a little stretched out. You guys all look pretty good with these. Okay. When we're done, you guys can grab some water. We're gonna come back down to the ground. We're not gonna go back to child's pose, but we are gonna do some cat cows because who doesn't love cat cows on a Tuesday morning? So same idea with the breath. So you're going to exhale on this one, which is the cat. Inhale on the cow. Focus on not only filling up your belly, but your lower back. And then on the exhale too, you want to make sure you get all of your air out. Getting all of our stale air out is important. Do 6 of these. That seems to be our number. And I also forgot to mention, if anybody ever needs a modification, I know this first set isn't too hard, but if anybody needs modification, I have an encyclopedia of modifications. So just raise your hand. Okay, once we got 6, we're gonna go back to bird dogs, but we have 2 options here. You could do the same thing we did on the first set and focus on your lower back and your diaphragm, or you could take your knees off the ground and hover and alternate sides. So this just makes it obviously a little harder, more core stabilization. You'll feel the imbalance. So you would alternate your left arm and right leg out, bring it back without touching your knee down, and then there. So let's do 8 each side. You can pick your poison here. Notice your tendency to hold your breath when it gets hard. Don't do that. And I'm just gonna probably keep saying that because as a personal trainer, that's the thing that I say the most often. If you are up on your toes, make sure your hands are not extended too far out in front of you. You want your shoulders directly over top of your hands. Yes, it's harder that way, but also, yes, it makes your shoulders not hurt. So good job, everybody who's trying the toes thing. And if you're not trying the toes thing, that's totally cool. It's gonna get hard anyway, later. All right, and then we're gonna go to our snow devils. And if you guys have light weights, like I'm talking like 3 pounds, like 5 pounds is gonna feel heavy on this exercise. You can try it. And if you only have 5 pounds, do a couple reps of 5 pounds and then put them aside when your shoulders feel like they're on fire. So snow devils on the screen, yeah. Back here, 10 reps with your weights. So up here, make sure that you're breathing into your core still, extend them straight out, bring them straight in, 10 reps. No resting, your arms stay up the whole time. You're continuing to push the amount of range of motion that you get on that. Inhale, exhale with your elbows down, 10 reps. Nice job, guys. These all look really good. And without me even saying it, you guys are keeping your heads down in line with your spine instead of arching your neck back, which is really important. Great job. Okay. Once we're done with those, come back up. We got one more set of single leg deadlifts. I'm gonna introduce another option. If you guys have a wall, I kind of don't, or if you're magical at balancing, you could do it without a wall. So one leg at a time, same kind of starting position. So if I am doing my left leg, I'm gonna come into my single leg deadlift, come down and open up. And you can put your hand down, and then from this open up position, try to reach your back leg up and then come back up from here. And then if we switch, right leg, you're gonna open up towards your right side. If you're near a wall, I should have said that part first. You wanna do all one leg at a time because the wall that you're facing matters. So that when you go down to doing your left leg, you can lean into the wall here and try to get a deeper stretch. But either way, we're gonna do 80 side. So pick your poison. If you're not into opening, you could just keep doing regular single leg deadlifts with the stretch. If you are opening, it's towards the leg that's down, and you're gonna find out pretty quickly how tight the entire outside of your leg is. That's gonna be a fun thing to figure out. But that's also the point of today. And again, as you're barefoot, you should feel your feet below you trying to stabilize. A lot of times you might notice you're gonna roll out kind of naturally towards your little toes. If you can use your big toe, plant into the ground, that is gonna help a lot with balancing. Okay, we're starting to feel stretched a little bit. Nope. This is a good time of year to find out that you need to work on your balancing. We have lots of time to fix it. Good job, guys. How's it going, Rami? Not so good. All right, guys. So this, again, this is a good one. Like if you get to do this again and you can find a wall to lean into the wall and make sure you really get that stretch, will, like, you know, you're not working on balancing when you do that, but you're stretching. So that might be good too. Brittany, you're twisting the wrong way. We'll work on that later. Okay. Next one. We're gonna go on to our next set. You guys can grab water if you need it. This one, we're gonna do a half kneeling adductor stretch thing. I don't know. I just make up names for all these things. So if you have a mat or like a squishy thing to put under your knee, do that. And if you have a mat, you might want to double it up too. So one knee down, one foot out to the side, and the foot that's out to the side, make sure your foot isn't up. You want all of your toes gripping on the ground. And this starting position should feel like, I wish my legs weren't this spread out. You should feel a little uncomfortable just here. And then what you're gonna do, and we're gonna add weight on the second set, is you're gonna shift your hips back like a hip hinge, and then come and press everything forward. So both glutes are engaging here. You should feel a stretch here, and you should feel just all kinds of things moving. So back, don't have your hands help you, come up and squeeze everything. So it's hip flexor stretch, it's adductor stretch. If you're doing this right, it will feel weirdly uncomfortable. Let's do 8 reps. Keep breathing. And keep pushing your range of motion. So if you're feeling like, I don't feel a stretch, you're doing it wrong. Shift your hips back farther, press forward. If you're not getting that, make sure your foot's on the ground, and then maybe even walk it out farther if you're not feeling the adductor part of the stretch. Once you get 8, switch it over. You might notice that it's harder on one side, maybe one leg's stronger or one leg is tighter. Usually the stronger and tighter leg are the same. These are good things to just notice at this point of the season. And as we start to make progression in our strength program, we'll keep it evened out, and then we'll kind of see, like, can we make progress and get each of our legs to come together and be similarly strong and or tight, whatever they want to do. Is anybody feeling like this is comfortable and easy? No? Okay, cool. Just checking. Okay. Once we got 8 each side, our next one, we're gonna do a back lunge and a knee raise. So we're gonna come up and stand up. You can grab weight right away on the set. If you have weights, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 5 pounds are fine. It's just something in that range. Here's my weights. Okay, so do your legs feel weird now that you just did that stretch? Okay, so what we're gonna do, again, focus on your feet, especially your big toe. One leg at a time. You're gonna back lunge. Keep your torso up when you back lunge, don't bend over. Come up, knee raise, and you wanna get your knee as high as you can and hold it. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, back straight into the lunge, come back up. So we're working on hip flexor activation here. What I want you guys to notice when you do it, and you can keep going and I'll just talk, do 8 each side. So all one leg at a time, because I want you to feel that activation in your foot. And what I want you guys to notice is when your knee comes up, does it want to do that? Because that means probably your TFLs are too tight and they're like, hey, let's not use our psoas, let's use our TFLs. And then also your foot might do some weird stuff. Try to keep everything in line. And also don't lean. Hips should be square and even. Lots of things to think about. 8 each leg. My hip's favorite thing to do is the knee that's up to lean, kind of in this is aggressive, but this way. And then I kind of always have to make sure that I'm dropping the hip of the knee that's up. And you'll notice that feels way harder. So in addition to your hip flexor muscles working on the knee up, you should feel a lot of stabilization in the standing leg. Okay. All right, one more thing in this set. If you guys have loop bands, grab a loop band. If not, this will be just as hard and fine without it. Or you could also do the first set without it and then add it. But here it is. So you're gonna put the loop band. Let's go with like right above your knees, and we're gonna come down into a side plank position, but on your knees. And then what we're gonna do is start hand on your hip, knees down, and then you're gonna lift up off your hip and lift the top leg at the same time. Back down, tap your butt down, up and lift, work on the range of motion, 10 each side. Try not to let your top leg come too far forward. You want to keep everything in line. And then when you do that, you'll feel it farther back in your butt. If you're feeling it too far in the front, that's your TFL. That thing really loves to try to do everybody else's job. Try to keep your leg coming straight down from your body. 10 reps on this side. Keep breathing. And then once you're at your 10 reps, flip your legs over. You might find that one of your side butts doesn't like to do its job. This is where we'll wake that up. Those are also known as glute beads. If you have different size bands, you might find that maybe you need a harder one or an easy one. Whatever it is, we'll make that adjustment on the second set. Guys, grab water if you need it. Good job finishing up with these. And then we're gonna go back to that half kneeling abductor stretch. And this is a good time where if you have a weight, you can hold a weight at your chest. Just helps your core get a little bit more involved. So this guy, my weights are little, but this is actually a good one if you eventually get to like a heavier weight or a kettlebell to hold that at your chest. So same thing, 10 reps again, foot flat down, sink your hips back, come up and press all the way through. And if you're not, again, if you're not in your adductor, you need your foot out farther. Did I say 10? I meant 8. Just do 8. Good job, guys. 8 reps, switch it over. It's possible that this feels better on the second set once you get stuff all stretched out. It's also possible that it doesn't. Okay. That is 8. If you didn't grab weights on your first set of lunges and you have weights available, it's a good time to grab them. Or if you want to just go up and weight. Kaden, you really need more adductor stretching after that. Just doing a butterfly stretch in there. Okay, weights, we're gonna go back to back lunge with knee raise, still all one leg at a time, because we're gonna focus on the stabilizing of your foot and your big toe. And we're gonna still go nice and slowly. So back lunge, torso stays up, knee raise and hold. 8 reps. So what we're working on with this knee raise is when we are in our arrow position on the bike, that's a closed angle hip position. And we don't often activate our psoas or our other hip flexors deep in there from a closed angle. So when you're on your aero bike and you're like this, most of us have no strength. You might notice that if you're ever doing single leg drills on your trainer and you're like, oh, nothing's happening on the top part of my pedal stroke. That's the muscles we're trying to wake up right now. Okay. All right, and then we're gonna grab our band, make any adjustments to your band, heavier one, just add one, whatever you gotta do. Go back to 10 each side of the side plank with hip abductor activation. Right above your knees, back down to the ground. Try to get your maximum range of motion without compromising where your knee is. So down, up. If anything, you're gonna reach your top leg, maybe back a little bit, if anything. Mostly this should be straight in line with your body. Just, you don't want it to be forward. All right, 10, and then switch sides. And I should mention for the future, this is a really good thing to do before another workout. So like if you have a run scheduled, do this first, like these workouts with me. This is like a really good way to get everything activated and then go out the door for the run and see how different that feels when your body is working the way it's supposed to be working. Okay. Okay. All right, we're gonna set some stuff aside. We're gonna go just from a starting plank position on the mat, and we're gonna alternate push-up mountain climbers. So nothing stretchy on here. Now it's just we're building strength. So hands below you. I'll give knees on the ground adjustment in the middle, but you're gonna go push up, left knee to left elbow, right knee to right elbow, back. Push up, 1, 2. So we're gonna do 10 of those. If you need to drop down on your knees, you can just get started. But what you can do is knee push up and then come up on your toes. 1, 2, drop down like that. So if you don't get to all 10 from your toes, do as many as you can and then drop down to your knees. Again, on this one, make sure you're not back here, that your shoulders are directly over top of your wrists. 10 reps. Okay. When you guys are done 10, we're gonna stand up. Then we're gonna go a couple little side lunges into, side shuffles into a side lunge on each side. So this we're gonna do for time. We're gonna do it for a minute. So what this looks like is you're gonna just go maybe 1, 2, side lunge, 1, 2, side, or maybe just do that little like hop step in the middle. But the point is I want you to keep it moving and step into your side lunge on each side. So 1 minute right now, probably 45 seconds, we'll see. Or you could do a couple, whatever makes you happy. When you do your side lunge, keep going, don't stop when I talk. When you do your side lunge, make sure your knee's not coming forward. It should be hips shifted back. Knee should never come forward where you can't see your toes in front of it. And I want you to focus on the push off. So like every time you plant that outer leg into your side lunge, use that to be the thing that launches you into the next side rather than shifting and then all that kind of stuff. We're working on that lateral strength. We've opened it up a little bit and now we're using it. 5 seconds left. Okay, stop. One more thing in this set, grab your loop band again, put it around your ankles. Okay, this is 30 seconds, so don't start yet. You definitely don't want extra credit on this. Run your ankles. We're gonna jump out and squat, and then quick feet in the middle. So it's out, squat, tap in the middle, out. So it's quick feet in the middle. Take your time and squat on the outside. Ready, go. Keep your pace up. 10 more seconds. Three, two, one. Good job. Okay, get some water. Hold our set. How you guys feeling? Great, cool. Too easy so far? Rami? It's too easy, isn't it? Okay, all right. What do we do first? Push-ups. Let's do push-ups. Okay, so if you want, you can mix it up with where you tap your knees, but otherwise same thing. So what I'm saying with that is you could go push up, come around wide if you want, or alternate elbows. But same idea, 10 push-ups, tap, tap, mix it up. Just get through all 10. Okay, good job, guys. All right, and then once you get through 10, we're gonna go back to our side shuffle, side lunges. Focus, in order to make these a little bit more challenging, we're not gonna add anything. You just focus more on your push off. Like try to get more explosive out of each turn. All right. We're gonna do whatever time we did last time. Ready? Go. So it's just thinking about exploding from the lowest point of the lunge. That's what I want you to think about. gonna go 15 more seconds. Keep it moving. No knees coming forward. All right, 3, 2, 1. Grab your bands. All right, band around your ankles. This is a good exercise to do with a heavy band, if you guys have one. If not, okay, ready? 30 seconds, and go. You can pick up the pace. Already halfway. All right, 3, 2, 1. Good job, guys. All right, we're done with the hard stuff. Get some water. Okay, the last stuff is stretchy. So we're gonna go back to the ground and lay on our back. All right, from here, arms are gonna be out wide, and we're just gonna alternate, trying to get one. It's not gonna touch your hand unless you are super flexible, but just alternate sides and go slowly so that you can use your obliques a little bit. Let's go like 8 each side or something like that. But it's mostly a back stretch. You should feel it stretching out your lower back. Okay. And then we're gonna come up into a half kneeling position. Well, let's do low lunge and we'll get there. So what that means is one foot in between your hands, the other foot back. And then just kind of play around so you can straighten out your back leg. You can kind of like move around in there. This direction feels nice. This one's your adductor. Kind of move back and forth, stretch out that. So what we're stretching is our back leg hip flexor right here. And then once you get some movement in, put your back knee down. You're gonna come up. You can either lift your arms up or put them on your knees, but what we want right here is that same, we're gonna go back to the beginning and not feel like you're arching your lower back, breathe into your diaphragm, engage the glute of the knee that's down. That's the side that we're stretching. So the knee that's down, it's that. The more you squeeze your glute and press that leg forward, the more you'll feel the hip flexor stretch there. That's what I want you guys to focus on for a minute. Breathe into it. And then the last part is same knee up. You're gonna, if you can, take your elbow, put it on the outside of your knee, put your other hand in and stretch yourself to the side. You should try to keep your back as flat as you can. Try to find a long, stretching out your spine. I don't know how to say that, but take deep breaths. These are cleansing exercises. When you twist, you're squeezing your ascending and descending colon, and we're kind of like helping ourselves flush toxins out here too. So if you can breathe through this, take deep breaths through the compression, you're helping stuff move in your body that might be stuck there. All right, and then come out of it and switch legs. Other leg forward. same thing. Stretch out your back leg, find some movement side to side. Really digging this one today. This feels good for whatever I got going on. Side to side, front and back. Feel that hip flexor. And then back knee down. Come up. And now it's this down leg again, and you're gonna squeeze your glute and feel the stretch right in front right here. So it's squeezing your glute and pressing forward without any arching in your lower back. Breathe into that. You do get more out of this with your hands up because your psoas, which is one of your deepest hip flexors, actually attaches to the front side of your spine. So when you lift your arms up, you'll feel a little bit more of a stretch because it goes all the way up. All right, couple breaths there, and then outer elbow onto your outer knee. Try to push into your hands and find some length in your spine. And then again, try to find ways to get some deep breaths through that compression. Okay, guys, we're done. Good job.